Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I'm here to do a, pod filler, basically, because it's, summer break, you're bored, you got nothing to do, so why not listen to us, basically. Here to join me today to discuss this week's saga is none other than Kunle. Kunle, how we doing, brother?
I'm fighting for my life, man. It's like 42 degrees. But, we're out here still. We're out here.
Yeah.
In case
That
you can
heat
hear
couldn't
like a
get...
sound, it's like my AC in my room that's sounding that way. Because normal AC don't hack it. We need that extra AC in the room still.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Gotta keep extra cool, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the vibes still. I know the vibes. And Mahad, how we doing today, brother?
I'm wonderful. You know how we do. Listen, we always drop pods. Off season, what's on off season? We're here, baby. And yeah, Kunle is looking like he's in a sweatshop in Dubai right now, bro. He's heated, he's melted right now. Look, he's suffering in these conditions and he's podding. Be grateful, people.
I have to respect it. Anyways, let's move on to what started the whole, saga, this week's saga, if you will, in the F1 Twitter space. And of course, what kicked off silly season is Fernando Alonso. He ended up doing a shock move to Aston Martin to replace the outgoing Sebastian Vettel. Of course, when I woke up to this, I almost dashed my phone out the window because number one, if you can listen to the pod, I'm not really the biggest fan of Mr. Number 14. And also, I've got a bit of stock in him, so this is very conflicting, if you will, for me. But someone who does have stock in Alonso is none other than Mahad. So, Mahad, how do you feel about Mr. Alonso going from what's maybe the 4th, 5th fastest car on the grid right now to basically like how to put it, maybe the 6th and 9th, depending on quality and race pace, if you will. Basically going backwards, if you will. How do you feel about that move and how we basically fucked over Alpine pretty much?
Mr. Alonso, one thing that Alonso is gonna do is get it back. Throughout his career, he's gonna get it back. I think had career earnings of like 250 million, quarter billion. Yeah. I'm hearing Aston Martin put 20 mil on the table. You got to take that, B. Got to take that. One thing I will say, I wasn't surprised that he was going to leave. I knew 100% he was going to leave. I just did not know what team he was going to go to. So there's been like moments of discontent from like the beginning of the season regarding his position at the team, thinking, okay, did they promise me certain things when I joined at the end of, 2020? That this car is going to be capable of when we start the new seasons under the new regs, and they haven't fulfilled those targets that he probably set with them. So he's not a man that's got a lot of time left. He needs to be trying to get some race wins like right now, or be in at least competitive car. He's had an okay season. He's maximized the car. He's had some good moments, but he's been mired by reliability issues, and I don't think Alpines are quite as organized as people think they are. I think there's a lot of messing up going on in the background. We'll probably speak about that later, about how Alpines run, because they might be pretending like they got it together, but I don't think they got it together at all. And if the opportunity arises to kind of link up with Lawrence Stroll, we saw rumors from like last year that Lawrence actually wanted Alonso in that seat rather than Vettel, and he was trying to get Alonso in that seat for quite a while, and now he's got his man. So if he wants to go to a place where he feels wanted, that's the place to go. I'm hearing Alpine only wanted to give him a 1-year deal. I'm hearing Alpine wanted to give him less money than Ocon. Both of those two things are extremely insulting to somebody that's driving the wheels off that car. And if you can go to Aston Martin, collect a bag, and possibly if Lawrence Stroll finishes whatever he's finishing with that team, like in terms of like wind tunnel and investment and stuff like that, if they could build something better than they've got this year, yes, it looks like a bad move right now in 2022, but it might not be a bad move in 2023 because we have to see what the cars look like next year. So he secured himself 3-year deal. He's going to be here for the next 3 seasons. He's calm. He's all right.
Yeah, cool. Kunle, do you have any takes on Alonso going to Aston Martin?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, it makes no sense right now. But then nothing in Formula 1 makes sense. So I don't know. The man said it, I thought he said it was committed to like making Alpine race winning team, and he wasn't in Formula One for money. But I heard Lawrence threw the bag at him, and he busted it open like that, just went down the road. It's a bit crazy though, but yeah. I mean, personally, if I was Lawrence Stroll, I don't know. I'm not throwing money at a man that's not won a race. The last time Alonso won a race, I didn't even have beards yet. I didn't even grow my beards yet. Like, it's been so far away. But hey, you get it how you get it. Alonso's getting his bag, and I'm sitting in my room being a hater. Game's the game. Good luck to them.
Put your race wins on the table, Kunle.
Pardon?
Put your race wins on the table, Kunle.
I ain't got none.
Okay.
I ain't got none.
You hate it from the outside of the club.
But I don't get paid to drive Formula One cars.
I'm saying, yeah, he was never in the machine,
by the way.
It's two haters against one,
isn't
innit? Two haters against one, innit? But I'm just coming with.
But Mahad, let's be real. Me and you sit down.
Okay, let's have a talk.
Let's have a talk. You're a race driver. Alpine's shit. Fair enough. Right? Reliability. But you're not struggling to get a point in the Alpine. You're getting your 2 points, 3 points. Steady. It's cash money, right? You know. Right? Yes or no?
Yeah, I agree.
When you're finishing the race, it's cash money. You know, you have like a few duels with like the front runners, maybe for a lap or two. But once they go past you, you just maintain your lane. No one's coming after you. You're not going after anybody. Now you're going taking 3 steps back because you're skipping the Haas, you're skipping Alfa Romeo, maybe McLaren in between there. And you're going to the second worst car on the grid. Maybe not. Maybe race they do better in the race because I don't know what they even do at Aston Martin.
They do better in the race because they always
they go forward. But then you feel the only place from 17th is higher than 17. You can't go behind Latifi. That's
they do better.
Okay, Stroll and Vettel are fighting for their life at 1 point.
But they're both fighting for 1 point, literally. Why would you want to go put yourself in that position?
But you have to see it this way, yeah. He's got to get out, and Kunle.
Yeah,
he's been offered a 3-year contract, so that's a factor right there. Yeah,
it's 2+1. Just to correct you,
2+1. Options are probably on his side. Options are probably on his side. He's got an option to just leave anytime he wants, anyway.
Okay. Yeah, he's got an exit clause to it. Yeah.
So
Lawrence really threw the bag at him. Then
listen. You're looking at with the eyes of
maybe it wasn't Alonso. Maybe it wasn't. I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't Alonso twerking. Maybe it was Lawrence twerking.
Lawrence was talking from earlier. Why am I seeing articles middle of last year saying, "Oh, what did Alonso rather than Vettel?" What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, silly season, man. It makes no sense to me.
One thing I'll say is, okay, you're looking at it under the guise of what the Aston Martin is right now. The Aston Martin is meaty right now. What's the assumption that the Aston Martin is going to be meaty next year?
The Aston Martin was meaty last year.
Was it meaty last year?
Yeah?
Was
it even worse?
Yes,
I don't know.
It was meaty.
They got podium. They got podium, no? 2 podiums.
What podium was it last year?
But
they were more frequently in the points as well.
They were not fighting for their life.
Performance.
They were not fighting for their life.
They weren't struggling to get out of Q1 last year. No way.
Yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like they're making progression. Like if they're struggling this bad at the start of regulations, people don't get it. If you don't get it right at the start, or if you're not close to getting it right at the start of regulation, you don't really ever catch up. Look at the only time Ferrari almost got it right with the new with the last set of engine changes was when they were cheating.
I'm just saying it like this. As Alonso, let's say you treated it like a normal job, yeah?
Yeah.
You're getting paid more, yeah, and you got a longer contract. It's a no-brainer, no?
I mean,
it's a no-brainer from that aspect.
I'm taking 20 M's and 3 years over 15 M's and a year.
And getting paid less than Ocon.
Needs to hold up. He's an old man. He's
no.
to hold that.
No, there has to be a level of you have to be smart in negotiations. Alpine's moving bozos. Alpine's moving like bozos.
And I mean, Ocon's getting about je ne sais pas français. Alonso don't speak français.
Oui.
Alonso's the only person that makes that team relevant.
Not really.
What? Did he not win titles for them? Are you crazy?
That was Renault.
Yeah,
bro.
but that was a long time ago.
Alpine, same thing. I don't care. Renault, Alpine. I forgot Wikipedia right now. Alpine is claiming those. Alpine are claiming the victories.
Man, when Renault was last relevant, Ronaldinho was playing for you guys. So
that was a long time ago.
And I don't even know if. Do you know what I mean? That was a long time ago. You know how long that was. Ago.
You see,
I know you still had a beard then, but still, it was a long time ago.
You see them old days? That's the old days.
The old days. And listen. At the end of the day, Alonso has secured himself in Formula 1 for another 3 years. While these media drivers are fighting for their lives. But how much money are on 1 year deals? They're fighting for their lives.
Isn't it crazy that like Alonso's like 40 and he's still sought after? Crazy, man.
You ask yourself that question because clearly, you know what? Do you know what's so funny? Yeah. Obviously, we're just some guys talking on the podcast. A lot of people are just guys that are just commentating on Formula 1 from the outside. Those guys that actually know what they're talking about and evaluate driver talent, what is it about Fernando Alonso that's giving them money, giving them contracts? They don't care about man's age. So clearly, he's still performing at the right level in comparison to other Formula 1 drivers and prospective Formula 1 drivers to be warranted getting contracts. Because certain men are getting 1 year deals and don't even know what's going on with their career right now. They don't even know what's happening next year.
Yeah, but
do you think they're throwing Alonso back?
Do you think that's just based on his equity that he has? Obviously, being 2-time world champ, no shit like that.
The equity ran out a long time ago.
Clinging on to that a lot. Okay, let's talk about it then. How much equity does a world champion actually have in Formula 1? Is it forever or is it like 5 years, 10 years? Like, how much equity does a Formula 1 driver have? Because let's say if he didn't win those world titles, let's say he missed out by like a couple points or something, would he be getting this acclaim still? I don't know if he would. He'd still be getting acclaim, but not to this level.
I think it would. Formula 1 is so difficult and so like fragmented in terms of team performance and stuff like that. That even if you've got race wins, you're sought after. If you haven't got race wins, and you haven't got like poles or anything of significance in Formula 1, your job's just always on the line. You're fighting for your life at all times if you haven't got that kind of stuff.
But then, like looking at Alonso's case here, his equity is higher because of who he won the championship against, right? It wasn't He went up
in a weaker car.
Exactly, he went up against the Ferraris at the time, right? And he won championships in what was meant to be a weaker car. So, like, his reputation is a bit, I don't know, like, I think Alonso has this thing where it's like everyone seems to like rate him, even if you don't like him. They sort of rate him as a driver. Like, this is a great racing driver. Whatever
you think personally, he still puts up performances.
So basically, he's like Mount Rushmore of his own generation. It's not. Maybe you can argue all the time. Maybe he's not there, but of his own generation of drivers is like up there. Because who is going to go up against him that you're going to take him out for?
Another thing I wanted to point out as well is there's only a few drivers, that if you want to actually figure out, let's say you're in Lawrence Stroll's shoes, if you want to figure out what the ceiling is of your car, there's only a few drivers in F1 will actually max out that car and show you what that ceiling is of that car.
Yeah.
So, and Alonso is one of those drivers. Lewis Hamilton is one of those drivers. Max Verstappen is one of those drivers. If you want to know what that car can actually do, like on a red line thing, that's what Alonso's going to do.
Let's drag life out of this car. You're picking Alonso.
Exactly.
Okay,
Alonso was at McLaren Honda, one of the worst cars you ever see in your life, and he redlined it.
I was gonna go to that, right? So now my thing is like, now looking at it from like the Aston Martin perspective, are you putting Alonso in a car where he's fighting for his life and is complaining on the radio all the time because he can be a bitch?
Lawrence Stroll wouldn't have that though.
Ron Dennis.
It'll be good entertainment.
Ron Dennis.
It'll be good until it goes to shit.
Ron Dennis in his latter years was washed. People that are listening right now, he was truly washed.
Wow.
In his latter years. I'm gonna let people know now. Yeah.
This is coming from Mahad of McLaren Fan TV, by the way.
Listen, I have to speak the truth. This is rallies. Yeah.
Interesting.
He was washed 10 times.
I think he low-key needs to come back because Man's moving a bit mad since we'll get into it.
We'll get into
but
that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Again, no one.
He's
I don't know.
He's here.
He's here.
Alonso's here now.
He's here now. Like
all them people that were praying on his downfall. He's here for 3 more years. Hold that.
I prayed for his downfall. Like I don't want to see. I don't know. I feel like it was taking up space. But speaking of space, I guess we're gonna move into what it was taking up and discuss on that.
Cool. Let's move on to the guy who is hot topic right now, and that is Oscar Piastri. Of course, not long after Alpine put out a tweet saying, "Oh yeah, we've compared Piastri for next year alongside Ocon, blah blah blah," and of course, people noticed peculiar things about it. One of them being there was no quotes from Oscar. Oscar didn't promote the tweet, and it was sent out at 2 a.m. Australia time or something like that. I don't know what that is UK time, but it was a bit booky basically. It was a bit sus. So, of course, not long after, Oscar comes out and sends that infamous tweet just saying, "Yo, this is rap cap. I ain't driving for you niggas. Fuck all that shit. Yo, I ain't got no contract. Boom. Whole Twitter the frenzy. Cool." So, of course, now Oscar looks set to replace Danny Ricciardo. So, in terms of him burning bridges and all shit like that, let's just discuss from Alpine's perspective. So, I'm gonna come to you, Kunle. Did Alpine fuck up the Alonso Piastri transition that they wanted to do in terms of giving Alonso a 1-year contract plus giving him a race seat in 2024 in sports cars with Piastri coming in for 2024? Did they fuck that up, knowing that Piastri's contract was going to come to an end July 31st? Of course, Alonso was aware of that, announced his departure the day after. Should they have gave Alonso a deadline? So then be like, "Oh, okay, Alonso hasn't met this deadline. We're going to get rid of you, and then we can negotiate with Piastri until July 31st. Does some blame have to be done on Alpine for losing 2 drivers that they shouldn't have lost?
Yes. But the blame, I'll put the blame in a different way. Firstly, the blame is, I like Ocon, don't get me wrong. But giving Ocon that mad contract where it's sort of safe for the next few years, it's crazy. Ocon shouldn't have that much. Let me say, he shouldn't have that much equity to have that. I get he's a French driver, blah blah blah, but I don't think he should have that much equity to have that long ass contract in a team that wants to be successful in F1. That's why we put out the tweet the other day. What is Ocon good at? Nothing. What is Ocon bad at? Nothing. So it's just there. He's basically a filler pod. It's just there to fill the space. It's just meant to be driving until someone generational comes along where they're like, "You know what? Let's throw this guy in there. Let's see how it goes."
Someone called him the benchmark in the group chat.
If you're worse than Ocon, you shouldn't be in Formula One.
So he's the benchmark. If you're better than Ocon, you might be that guy. If you're worse than Ocon, it's scary hours.
If you're
low-key, yeah, low-key, there's maybe some truth to that, but go on, Kunle, yeah.
Yeah, so now going back to Alpine, what they were going to do was going to be fucking up Piastri regardless, right? It was either you're gonna have a contract with us doing nothing and just doing test drives, or you're not gonna have an F1 contract at all when there's a possibility. Now let's imagine if Piastri wasn't signed to anybody and it was just free, and a seat comes up, it could be in consideration depending on other obligations those teams have. Now, if he had signed to Alpine, if he had renewed that contract that he had with them for another year or two, basically doing sport cars and nothing, that's already 3 years out of Formula One. Now, someone's going to win F2 this year. That person's going to be in the F1 driver pool as well. And now that's one more person you're competing with the 20 others that are already in F1. Well, 19 because Latifi is not. Yeah. With the other drivers in F1, making it 21. You don't have a contract. Other drivers have like either test contracts or something. So I think it was smart that he said, yo, this man put our contract. I ain't signed it. I'm not gang with them no more. I'm just my ones right now. But Alpine wanted to like do the thing where like, you know what, you rob a man, it licks your head off, but you're good, and you come out and say, oh, I robbed him. But you're not telling the world it licked your head off. You get. So Alpine tried to do that, but it wasn't gonna work. And they're like, now they're fucked because now they need a second driver, and they're trying to move away as far from Ricciardo as possible because they still beef for when Ricciardo left. So they stopped.
I'm sorry. Do you know what I love Kunle? Yeah, he did the example of someone licking someone's head off in robbery. Yeah, he could have just said, "Have your cake and eat it," but man did the robbery analogy instead.
I don't say you. We don't say have your cake and eat it, bro. We don't, we don't say that. We're not from around that world.
Content you get up and stop. Let's go.
We don't say that. We don't say that around here. Our listeners don't say that. But yeah, but you get my point. Like, it's a bit complicated, but at the same time, it's not complicated. Alpine could have been smart and given Ocon and given Piastri a guaranteed seat, but then they couldn't give him a guaranteed seat because they would rather have Ocon and Alonso in those seats. And it's a good thing that the young guy has a smart manager who knows what F1 world is like. And when they didn't offer him a deal after that date, he's like, yo, you see around there, them papaya boys, they're trying to get rid of a man. Let's go sign with them. You're going to drive somewhere regardless. If it's Indy racing, sport cars, McLaren, they've got loads of cars. And they always need drivers. You're going to drive. Let's go there. But Alpine, it didn't look like they had that. So, what can you say? And yeah.
Do you know Alpine?
That Kwame.
Old that Kwame, obviously. That's a given.
Hold that.
Do you know what's funny about Alpine? Yeah, Alpine's moving like, you know, the worst R&B song ever. They're like, he's like, you know, I love you, babes, but I love another girl at the same time. That's what they're doing basically. Yeah, they didn't want to lose Alonso, yeah, and they didn't want to lose Oscar at the same time, yeah. But there's only one seat. Same way, there's only one ring when you want to marry a team. Yeah, this is what.
Sorry,
this is what.
Before you go, who gave Ocon that contract?
Bro, we called that out. No, I swear to God, I swear we called it out at the time. So why is the contract so long? We said, what's going on?
Seven years, no? Is it seven? How many years?
No,
not 7 years.
3.5 years. It's crazy. 7 years. What?
Oh, is it? No, but it got renewed. You got renewed again.
It was a 3.5 year deal when he signed it. Because when he signed it at Austria,
last year,
time,
right?
was it? Yeah,
3 years. He signed it last year and then became a bum for like 6 races. But his contract expires 2024.
He shouldn't be getting 3.5 years. He should be getting a
year.
year.
What are you doing? No, if you know you got a talent in Oscar Piastri in your team, why are you not allowing yourself flexibility within your contract negotiations?
Speaking of talent, I've got a question, but we'll do that when you were saying something. I caught you short. We'll discuss that talent part later.
Okay, basically, you got Alonso there, you got Oscar there. You have to make a decision prior to even like around Monaco times. You need to make a decision internally to decide who is driving in this seat next year, and you need to notify each driver what's going on with that situation. Yeah, I'm hearing Alonso early doors is frustrated at the situation, and he's already speaking to Aston Martin in Imola That's a long time ago. He's already talking to Stroll from there. And there are rumors, I think Aston Martin are kind of thinking, oh, we might lose Vettel there, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? So they're already aware of that situation. That it's not really good. And you know, the last couple of races, the way Otmar's been speaking about Alonso is crazy. Crazy. He's been doing crazy Ocon prop and basically saying, no, Alonso's not really that guy. That, if you translate what Otmar's been basically saying. So for them to, if you're in that situation and you're like, okay, maybe Alonso's not really happy with us, we need to indicate to Oscar now and Mark Webber, who's his manager, that we're going to make you the driver. You need to announce it early doors and say, he's our driver for next year and give him that security. The longer you wait, the more Mark Webber is going to start selling Oscar Piastri around the grid and be like, yo, you know he's available, right? You know you can put him in his seat, right? You know he won F4, F3, F2 back-to-back. You get me? Mark Webber's advertising this done all over the gaff. Yeah? So you can't leave everything till last minute and be shocked and be like, oh my God, we lost Oscar. When you've not given this guy any clarity whatsoever about his situation next year. All we're hearing is rumors of Alonso getting a 2-year contract. Alonso getting a 1-year contract at Alpine. That's all we heard for the last 3.5 months. If I'm Oscar, I'm on the phone to Mark, yo, get me out of it. I'm an F2 champion. The F2 champion that's going to come out this year is going to get a seat for me. How does that even work? Get me out of it. Find me something. So I understand what Oscar done in his circumstance. And Mark Webber did the best for his client because you have to secure your guy's seat for next year. And Alpine were moving mad. Alpine got fucked over by Alonso because Alonso kept it very quiet that he's leaving that team. And Alpine had a assumption that he was going to sign a 1-year deal with them and have Oscar as the backup again, which just makes no sense whatsoever. Why have the Alpine Academy if you're not going to use your talent? Why would you pay millions and millions and millions of pounds putting Oscar through all the junior categories because this guy is not a paid driver. He's not got money. He's not from money. He's not a rich kid. So you paid and put this guy through everything for you to not even put him in the seat. And now you're crying wolf that you've lost your driver and try to just announce him out of the blue. Listen, you lost all equity or even respect. If I'm Oscar, I've been disrespected by my team because you're not only going to make me a reserve driver once, you're going to make it back-to-back years, and I'm an F2, F3, F4 back-to-back champion. There's only a couple of people that are like that, you know. We're talking about your George Russells and Charles Leclerc. That man were in seats immediately. They weren't joking around. They weren't sitting there doing up test driver. So where's the respect? So from Alonso, from an Oscar Piastri standpoint, you got to leave. You have to believe in yourself and be like, okay, I need to get into another team, whether it be Williams, whatever. You need to line that situation up. Them being startled by Alonso leaving the team made them rattled and like, okay, we just need to announce somebody quickly. Should we announce our test driver? Let's announce him. Without them knowing what the situation is with him. Without even consulting him. They dropped it in the middle of the night. They dropped it in the middle of the day for us, obviously, but in the middle of the night in Australia. So Mark Webber doesn't know or Oscar doesn't know. So Oscar has to do a mad tweet denying the situation. Like what you announce the driver without even having a statement of the driver. Do you know how crazy that is? Driver didn't even tweet anything. What is going on at Alpine? They've lost Prost. Prost said these lot of clowns, I'm out of it. Beginning of the season. They've lost so many different key staff members over the last couple of years.
So
Guan Yu Zhou came out saying, I'm glad I left Alpine. Why was he saying, I'm glad I left Alpine program? Something's going on over there. And it stinks.
Yeah, upper management's trash. But the thing is, though, if you're Oscar, are you putting out that tweet? The way you put it out.
100%. If somebody's
why not?
Bro, Kunle, if Taco Bell around the corner put out a tweet saying Kunle is our new manager, you'd be like, what's going on here? I don't work for you,
Bell, bro. Put some respect for my name.
Okay. I'm saying to some random place. I'm saying a random
Shout out
place.
Taco Bell workers.
Taco Bell,
Nando's only.
Taco Bell, you can sponsor us, you know. No, okay, let's Kunle. If JP Morgan just said, yo, Kunle is our new CEO, you'd be like, what the hell's going on here? I've never spoken to you in my life. What's going on here?
I'm not gonna reject it publicly though.
You got to reject it publicly. No, do you know what? You only reject that contract, that notification or whatever tweet, denounce it if you've already physically signed a contract for another team. He already signed the contract.
Okay.
You would never
That's what
put
I
that
was-
tweet out. Mark, you think he's putting out that tweet without Mark Webber telling him to put out that tweet?
I reckon
Mark
he
Webber
drafted
probably
and
sent
said,
it
"Yo,
to
Mark,
him.
your Mark, still okay?"
Mark Webber drafted that and just copied and pasted it. Yo, WhatsApp, send that.
You
Tweet that.
copy and paste this.
Copy and paste this. You know what I'm saying? There is no way you would put your client at risk by doing that. We've already know now, after the fact, that the contract recognition board, that's the FIA, basically validates contracts. I've said this contract, the McLaren is legit. It's valid.
So he's got a McLaren contract right now
He's got a McLaren contract and it's
Yes.
valid.
to drive for McLaren.
To drive from McLaren for 2023.
Interesting.
Something that his team would not give him.
The Alpine.
We're in
wouldn't
August.
guarantee-
We're in August. Why would they not tell him that you're driving for your team next year? Because you're doing up. Oh, I love her, but I love her, and you can't decide, and you lose both guys.
Who's gonna like take responsibility for this?
Women
Is
like
it Omar? Is it
No,
Omar?
it's not Omar.
Is it
Omar
Rossi?
doesn't do the recruitment. It's Rossi. It's Rossi. Rossi does the
Yeah,
driving.
Laurent Rossi. Yeah,
Interesting.
Laurent Rossi.
He still the L. He just needs to take the L still.
He has to
This
fly
is
to
a
France to
compliment.
speak to the Renault board. You have to speak to the Renault board. They're gonna have him
This is big.
shaking in that boardroom.
Bro, this is a big L, you know. To lose both Alonso and Piastri at the same time, that's a mad L. It's a mad L. How do you fuck that up? How'd you fuck that up? Like how?
Those are two generational drivers in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, Oscar's meant to be generational in his generation. Speaking
I'm saying
of
he
his
is. Fuck it. I'm saying he is.
I mean,
Say that much.
that F2 team is a bit, yeah. The less said about F2 drivers right now, the better.
Do you know what? But he did what he needed to do, and he did on his first season. He didn't do a
And
Nick
packed
De Vries and do it on his fourth season. He did what he needed to do. He packed that field in. That's the most he can do. He wasn't
Rookie.
close.
He
He
walked it.
wasn't doing last. No, you can say okay. F3 title, he got lucky, cool. Because I seen the last race of the F3.
Yeah.
The F3 race, and obviously there was Logan Sargent. There was not Nick De Vries. Oscar
Yuki
Piastri.
there,
There
right?
was a third man. No. There was a third man. I can't
Yuki
remember the third one was.
Yuki wasn't in this one, right?
No, I'm talking about the title race. I'm not
Oh,
talking
the
about
title
whole
race.
thing.
Oh,
title
Yeah,
race.
I'm talking about the title race. Yeah.
For
There was
F3.
Logan Sargent. There
Oh,
was
F3.
Oscar Piastri, and there was a third one.
So this
There
is
was
2020
another
F3.
one.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
watch them
yeah.
series.
And you say, okay, Oscar got lucky, cool, but he was still in the fight, cool. He still won it. Get out, you live. F2, he bodied the field.
And Logan
Juked
Sargent.
them up. Yeah, juked them up, juked the whole field. Got bare. Mahad put the tweet up. That picture's been doing the rounds. Was it got bare
Wait,
poles,
yeah.
bare feature race
Bro, he
spins,
got
sprint race spins,
Kunle. He got
all that shit.
58% of the poles in F2. He got 4 out of 9 feature race wins, multiple podiums, absolutely packed his team. He put half a second on his team ahead in qualifying pace.
That's Lewis 2020 hype then.
When we look at it, when you look at the last F2 champions, yeah, that are rookies that have packed everybody in. We're talking Lewis Hamilton, Rosberg.
Yeah.
We're talking George Russell. We're talking Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
We're talking Nico Hulkenberg. So even if we say the bottom of the ceiling is Nico Hulkenberg, we've got an F1 driver there.
That's true.
Yeah.
So he should be driving in F1 right now.
So what Alpine? What Alpine doing? This is incompetence. This is
What
incompetence,
my
bro.
How did so my thing is how did they mess it up that they couldn't find a seat somewhere on the whole of the grid for him to drive?
I think they've been negotiating with Williams, but I think Oscar might have said no, apparently. So
I'd say
there
no
might
too.
have been
I would
a bit of a So there might have been a bit of a scramble to maybe put him somewhere else. But
then,
by the time they tried to do that, obviously Oscar's been like, nah, I'm with McLaren. I'm with the
This is-
papaya boys. Danny Rick's off.
Think-
Yo.
Thinking about it, looking across the grid, where could they even have put him if not their own car? It's definitely not going to be in a Mercedes, not in a Red Bull, not in a Ferrari, not in a Alpha. What's it called? Gas
For a
listing.
male.
No,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
AlphaTauri, because that's literally a customer team for a primary team. Alfa Romeo, maybe because Alfa Romeo, no, because they're also like spoon feeding Ferrari. Maybe the Haas, but then they also got to put Mick there for Ferrari. Who else? Not Aston Martin. because there's only one seat available at Aston Martin. Because Lance is there for life until Daddy says, let's go, let's go buy something else. So why give Ocon a 3.5-year contract?
I think maybe they didn't expect Piastri to be as good as what he was. So they were kind of like, okay, French name, French guy, have him the face of the brand, if you will, to be fair. Give him a big long contract. Alonso, we'll just fuck him around, basically.
That's the thing, right? We've already discussed Ocon's ceiling. Ocon at best is a second driver in a championship contending team. At his best.
Like a science situation.
Like a science, like
Perez.
a
Bottas.
Not Perez. That's disrespectful to Perez in a way. Bottas-ish. He'll do enough. It might not be.
His ceiling's not world champion. If you're an evaluator at Alpine, you've got somebody that's possibly a world champion right there in Oscar Piastri, that has a higher ceiling than Ocon. That's just basic knowledge.
That you have that. Like Piastri was already like putting F2 apart before Ocon got his contract. No.
Yeah, he was cooking.
So that's the thing. Now that tells you
11 podiums.
So that if I'm Piastri, I'm looking at that Ocon contract like this man don't rate me, because I don't think I'm rating myself against Alonso. Because Alonso is a 2-time champion. Alonso is gonna get what he deserves and what he wants. Because Alonso has that equity that we've discussed, right?
But let's talk about equity, because look what Ferrari did with Charles Leclerc. He was at Sauber. He was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
They secured him a seat at a junior team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The second they realized this guy was good, they announced him so early and said Kimi's out. We're putting him in Ferrari. You have to kind of visualize what would other teams do if they had a talent like Oscar Piastri within their organization. I guarantee now, if he was a McLaren driver, this year he would be the reserve driver. We would have already announced him to replace Ricciardo.
Definitely.
We would have done it a long time ago.
If there was an opportunity to get rid of Ricciardo, yes.
We would be like, let's get this guy out of it. We've done it and he's not even our driver. So what are other teams going to do? This is incompetence. That's all I can say. If you're an Alpine fan out there, all three of y'all,
I'll cheer you,
including Kwame. Including Kwame.
I was gonna ask, who's an Alpine?
Kwame and his Angels, I'll cheer you.
I think this is definitely Alpine's fault. Alpine, you lost your future and you lost your present. Hold that.
Wow, they lost the future
due to their indecisiveness, and now you're there with Ocon, innit? You just better hope Ocon is like turns into a madman, turns into
guy.
I
like Ocon. I like
Ocon.
It's a good kid.
It's on the trenches. It's on the trenches. Gotta respect.
I root for him, but it's basically just the way it was like last year with the way people were on about with Bottas and Russell. Like, why do you have a driver that you think has a higher ceiling than who you currently have in your car? Unless you don't think that.
Ocon was never going to be in that discussion, because this is so funny, because Ocon was never. It's always between Alonso and Piastri, because they effed themselves over in the contract situation with Ocon. It would have been straightforward if it was Ocon 1-year contract.
That's what we're saying. Don't throw around 3-year contracts for drivers that are not going to win you world championships.
That's the number one rule in F1. Don't do it.
Because
let's say for example, Richard. Yeah, let me say this. Let's say for example, Richard. If Alpine had a car that's equivalent to Red Bull and Ferrari right now, is Ocon winning the championship right
now? Nah, it's unlikely.
Not really. I don't know.
Would Ocon possibly be even losing to his teammate?
Maybe. If they had a more reliable,
that would come hand in hand. If they had a fast car that was a little bit more reliable,
so that's the thing,
in
right?
that championship fight with Ferrari and Red Bull, Alonso might have been packing him.
Which goes back to the question: what is Ocon good at doing? Because I don't think he has any special strengths.
Yeah, but that's not a knock on him saying he's a bad Formula 1 driver. No, that's
I'm
not
not saying he's a bad.
I think people, when we put the tweet out, I think that's what people thought. We're calling him a bad driver.
We're not calling him bad.
I'm saying, what does he excel at that other drivers don't excel at, or he's like top of the pops? And we genuinely just wanted to know. We're not asking in a sense of trying to put him down or say he's bad or anything like that. It's just not quite apparent exactly what his skill set is that makes him stand out from the rest.
You can put up other race drivers like, oh, what is Charles good at? It's good. One lap pace is great. What is Max good at? It can drive in the wet. What does Perez do very well? It manages his tires, etc. You can do that. What is Latifi good at? Causing red flags, etc. You can do that across the grid. But you pick out Ocon, it's like it just manages to be there.
All rounder, innit? Cricket.
But also not be there at the same time. You can go a race without mentioning Ocon.
Yeah. He's a magician. So he'll teleport from P15 to P5 and you don't even know what he's done. Because race direction don't follow it. And no one else is, what's Ocon doing?
He gets no camera time. He gets no camera time.
He doesn't. He actually doesn't. That's why when I see him high in the points, I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
He only gets camera time when there's someone else around him.
But you have to ask yourself, if you'll put somebody at Alpine, who's better, Ocon, Piastri, or Alonso? And I don't think Ocon's top of that list.
I think I'm picking up. I'll probably pick Alonso and Piastri if I was picking a driver lineup.
Do you know what it is? I think Ocon's age is on the side though, because if he was the same age as Alonso, they might lean towards getting rid of Ocon. But then again, as I said, he's also French as well, so there's that equity. So it's a sticky one in it. Like you say, okay, Alonso's better than Ocon, cool, but Alonso's not French, and Alonso's not 20-something. He's in his 40s. So there's think about it long term. Think about facing the brand, because obviously when he won with Hungary, obviously, I know Bearman back in fucking whatever the Alpine headquarters is with gas, French driver, French car, French engine. That's the perfect combo. Okay, it wasn't in France, but cool. So it's like, it's one of them, innit? It's just, but yeah. Let's move on to Piastri still, but hypothetically, him at McLaren. So it's not announced yet, but if the FIA board have said, this contract certified, being pretty much say Piastri's going to be there next year. How do we think Piastri may get on against Norris, and do we think he will beat Norris? And if he were to beat Norris, do question marks need to be had over Norris, or is it just one of those things that you might be up against a generational driver? I'll open the floor for this one.
You know me, yeah. I'm a McLaren fan first and almost over everything, yeah. If he comes in and he matches or beats Norris, I'm eating. Our future's set because Norris has set the bar so high, yeah. If you're better than that, yeah, you're the second coming of Lewis Hamilton. You must be that guy. You must be insane. That's how high the levels Norris has set in this wheelbarrow of a car, yeah. So, as a McLaren fan, you just have to say, we've got two exceptional drivers now. If that's the case, I wouldn't put it as a slight to Norris at all, because Norris has come up against Sainz. He matched Sainz quite equally, especially in quali as well, and he was quite young as well at the time. He was the youngest driver in Formula One. Ricciardo's come in, and he's absolutely destroyed Ricciardo. Somebody that was in high regard prior to that season. People had him in their top 5 drivers. They rated the guy. So if Oscar comes in and does better than Norris, we got somebody special on our hands there. And I think it will push Norris further because Ricciardo's not pushing him. He's been in the situation now where you got Ricciardo in that seat and he's just absolutely wiping the floor. How do you improve as a driver if your benchmark is Ricciardo next to you and he's getting cooked every week? You can't really improve. You don't even know how good you are at that time because Ricciardo's just moving pathetic in the other car. So if you got somebody like Oscar Piastri come in and straight away he's matching you and he's excelling, I can only see it as a positive for Norris, that he will push himself forward. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put anybody under the lights or anything like that. It would be very much Rosberg Hamilton situation where you've got 2 talented drivers in the team. And they're just going to be pushing each other. And I think that's what's best for the team as well at the end of the day. People might say, oh, it might become toxic, the relationship, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, I don't ever visualize a team like, oh, you have to be teammates, you got to be guys, and da, da, da. I've never ever seen it like that. I want two guys that are got that dog in them, that are competitive, that push the team forward, that kind of push that ceiling. I don't want a guy that's just emasculated by the other guy and is just doing up teamwork and be like, oh yeah, you could go past me. Da, da. I wouldn't want that situation because it doesn't make the other driver better. And that situation, if it was the case where Oscar, let's say Oscar came in and Norris started bodying him, I would like to see what Oscar's reaction is. I want to see if he starts to push himself forward and starts to make those gains that Ricciardo couldn't and starts to close that gap. And if it's the other way around, we've got a talent on our hands here. So either way, I think it's a really shrewd move. They're both, 21, 22? I think, no, Oscar's 21. Lando Norris 22. From a McLaren standpoint, future set. Future's patterned. Because if you're McLaren and you're like, one of them's beating the other one, then you know that guy is that guy. So you don't have to have any loyalty to any sort of driver. You've got a talent in your hand there. So I just think it's a benefit, and it's the gamble that you've got to take. If you've got to drop Ricciardo, why are we wasting our time with Ricciardo? I know people are like done sub stories for Ricciardo this whole time. What's the point? If you're really a Ricciardo fan, you would want him out of that seat a long time ago.
Yeah, let's speak on that because I don't understand this Ricciardo Defense League. Bringing down Norris to big up Danny Rick, saying, when push came to shove, it was Ricciardo who came up with the win, not Norris, and all shit like that. But it's like, in another world, Norris has back-to-back wins, really and truly. But
Lando wins that race. Without Team Orders, Lando wins that race.
Yeah, because he had the pace in it. Let's be honest, he had the pace in it.
That's it. That.
Yeah.
He wins that race.
So
he was telling man on the radio, speed up.
Exactly. It was documented, a lie.
It's basically, in this situation, it's a win-win for McLaren. Because firstly, they get rid of that huge wage salary. I don't think they're gonna pay Piastri as much as they're paying Ricciardo.
Absolutely not.
Because let's not forget, Ricciardo came in as the marquee talent. He came in to be like the number one driver. He was meant to be the one that would lead McLaren to like race wins. It was meant to get the podiums, and Norris was meant to like, you know what? Let me hang with this person. It was meant to be like the benchmark to see, you know what? If Norris can hang as good as Ricciardo, then we're good. It's not meant to be the other way around. Like, the car was built for him, not for Norris. And it still is built for Ricciardo, not for Norris. So you get rid of that. If Oscar comes in and Oscar is not as good as Norris, but he's still scoring points, he's basically replacing Ricciardo. He's basically saying, okay, you know what? He's still giving Ricciardo numbers, but getting paid less. I'm not mad at that. No, I'm not mad at a guy getting 750K to score 3 points. I'm mad at a guy getting 15 million to score 3 points. There's a huge difference. Do you get my point? And then if Oscar comes in and is actually putting the clamps on Norris, like he's dragging him left, right, it's good for McLaren because guess what? We're not fighting for our lives again. Norris is doing what he's going to be doing. I'm saying this as per Norris continues to be sort of the best of the rest. Well, in this case, Oscar will be the best of the rest with Norris slightly behind, not far behind. We're not seeing a driver start P4 while the other one is starting P16 without any issues to the car or anything like that. If they're starting P5, P6 and they're finishing P5, P6, or it's P5, P7, not P5 and P16 or P5 and P13, then McLaren win. You're getting rid of a huge bill. and you're getting someone that's going to either make your team better or keep it the way it is. So, I mean, plus he's a rookie.
He gets rookie tax. It's like rookie taxes applied.
He gets rookie tax for like a year and a half or so before another rookie comes in.
It's a long-term investment for McLaren. With Ricciardo, you had to perform there and then. We signed you as the first driver.
Yeah,
we paid you more than Norris. Norris is supposed to do shadow boxing with you, bro. And Norris just knocks you out.
Norris is meant to be learning from you, but you're the one that you're looking.
Okay, let's talk about shame. Let's talk about shame. Because some people like it, yeah?
Okay.
As if you're a Ricciardo fan, because obviously, as a McLaren fan, I encounter people that are just only fans of the driver rather than, and that's just a normal thing in Formula One, that people are fans of the drivers rather than the teams.
Fair enough.
I'm quite a rarity in that point. You, as a Ricciardo fan, have to understand your driver's not been doing good enough, right? Regardless of what the team has been doing and the situations that's been happening, you have to understand, especially last year. The worst thing is this year is worse than last year. So last year was a disgrace. And I don't think any Daniel Ricciardo fan could kind of like defend that. They'll say, oh, we won a race. Lando didn't win a race. If we look at the last 73 races, so that's all the races Lando Norris has been in Formula One, yeah? Since he's entered Formula One, yeah? Lando Norris has beaten him in every single statistical category. Every category, Lando Norris is excelling more than Daniel Ricciardo. Since Lando Norris has stepped into Formula One, yeah? The only category he's not beating him in is race wins. And if we started evaluating Formula One just via race wins, yeah, it's scary hours. It lacks critical thought. It's a problem. Because the driver's averaging piss poor positions in races. He's got quarter of the points Lando Norris has this year. He does not score points. Points finishes are not a thing that happens, yeah? If you're thinking, shock horror, why has my guy been fired? He's been fired because he's been underperforming. Nobody asked you to put out a statement saying, I'm going to be driving for McLaren next year. I'm dedicated to da-da-da. Brother, your job's on the line. If I started effing up at work right now, yeah? If I started coming in late, not performing, not putting in the work that I was supposed to do at my job, I'd be under the lights. I can't put out a statement. Man do you know what he did? He did a vote of confidence for himself. That's the job for McLaren to do. You don't put an Instagram post out saying you're going to stay at McLaren. You're basically saying, I'm going to collect my money. It's got nothing to do with you actually performing. You've performed piss poor the whole year. You have no leg to stand on. Ricciardo fans have no leg to stand on. Your guy got fired because he underperformed and did not do his job. That's the end of it. That's the end of the conversation at the end of the day. Every single category, your guy got smoked by Lando Norris. In any other circumstance, you'd want that driver out. Any other team where one guy is scoring 1/4 of the points compared to the other, you would want him out of that team. He's taking up a seat. There were certain race weeks last year, we were like the second fastest car, first fastest car. Yeah?
Yep.
Where's my man at?
I mean, the Austria race, I think Austria
we were cooking. Where was Ricciardo?
Like Lando was on podium, no? Like even overtook Hamilton.
He overtook Hamilton. I think Lando finished second or something like that.
Yeah.
We cannot continue to cover our eyes and pretend like this guy's not underperforming. Why are you shocked that he's been fired? I don't care in the manner that it's been done. Who cares? This is McLaren. These are corporate teams. People get dashed out all the time. I don't understand what you're talking about. Look at the way they dealt with Sebastian Vettel at Ferrari. This is a normal occurrence. Look, the person that got done the most dirty was Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez was performing. Sergio Perez was absolutely doing a madness, yeah? He saved that team financially. He saved them financially. And he got fired at the end of the season. Imagine. He couldn't even scramble for a seat.
He put the team on his back, his neck, his leg.
That is what you call an egregious firing. That is what you call something that you should be offended by. You being worried like, oh my God, but Daniel put a statement out saying he's going to drive for the team. Oh, Daniel He was blindsided by Zach. He didn't know. They thought he was going to be driving next year, bro. Daniel Ricciardo is 33 years old. He's a grown ass man. He knows when his job's under the line.
Don't let that smile fool you.
He's part of the Red Bull program. He knew what was going. He knew what was going. You don't work with Helmut Marko for how many years and not know when your job's on the line. He knew his job was on the line.
Yeah, I mean, it went up to Red Bull and it put Vettel in the bag and made Vettel look like an amateur.
And Vettel made moves out of that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
If Daniel Ricciardo had shame, he would make moves out of that situation.
Yeah, like he did at Red Bull when Max came.
But he didn't. That's on him. He decided to put a statement and say, I'm going to drive from McLaren. Brother, you're getting packed. If you want to hold on to your integrity and keep your reputation, yeah, you would find a way out of that situation because it's not working. And then if you're really a Ricciardo fan, you would want Ricciardo out of that team from last year. If you want to respect and try to patch up his reputation, you'd be wanting that guy to get out of McLaren. Don't be getting mad at McLaren for firing him, McLaren had no choice. McLaren had absolutely no choice.
I'm just waiting for the official statement from McLaren. Once the official statement comes, boy oh boy, I'm gonna be drinking the best of the halal wine. And
Kunle, you know me. I wasn't one to be slandering Daniel Ricciardo this year. I tried to protect him. I gave him another chance. I said,
"Yeah,
yo, this is your chance to perform." Yeah. By the time I got to Silverstone, I had it. My head was gone. I can't do this because any other walk of life, you're losing your job in that scenario. So why should we be surprised if he's losing his job?
He's been subpar since he got into that McLaren seat.
And I'm not saying he's like finished as a driver.
No.
Listen. So I've been a McLaren driver for a very long time. Sometimes driver just comes in and it just doesn't click, and you got to make moves. So you got to go. You know what I mean? Like Juan Pablo Montoya got fired like halfway through the season. It's just how it is. It's not a slight on the driver or anything like that. It's just the driver having lack of self-awareness. Ricciardo, if he really cared about his stocks, he would have tried to speak to his agent and be like, "Get me out of here. Let me get in a seat for 2023 somewhere else." And then forego that 15 million. But obviously he wants to be paid out, so we'll pay him out. For him, obviously he's getting paid. Mark Webber's got that guy paid. He should, when he sees Mark Webber, he needs to buy him some balls. Because Ricciardo's going to get paid 15 mil. He's going to get 15 mil, yeah? And then he's going to get another contract, at least 2 years from another team in Formula 1. So he's getting money out of here, yeah?
Instead of you not having a seat in a year.
Exactly. If he really cared about his reputation and didn't want it to look like, to be fair, this was all going to be kept on the wraps. None of us would have known about this, yeah, until Alpine put that fucking tweet out saying, Oscar Piastri. All of that would have been done in the background. The contract would have been signed with Piastri in the background, and Ricciardo would have just announced all of a sudden, "Oh, I've got a new team," and he would have kept his reputation intact.
It would have just been
now he's been fired.
It would have been like a driver roulette, right? Alpine announced Ricciardo, McLaren announced Piastri. Everyone's fine. But
Ricciardo was informed on the debrief of the Hungarian Grand Prix in the evening that he's been let go.
Yikes.
So that's prior to the tweet that Alpine put out. That's prior to Alonso being announced for Aston Martin.
Hate to say it.
When Alonso got announced for Aston Martin, who rang Alpine in the morning? Ricciardo. Because he already knew he didn't have a job.
Hey, big head.
I'm back.
Hey, big head, you up?
You up.
You up.
Because he knows he has to secure that seat. He has to secure that seat. So for the people that are trying to like shit on Norris and shit on McLaren for making this decision for the sake of Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, Zach Brown didn't care about Daniel Ricciardo's mental health. Shut up, man. You lose your job, you're underperforming, man. Bro, if I'm flipping burgers in McDonald's and I keep dropping the burgers on the floor and they fire me, I have to hold that.
Bro, my contract didn't get renewed in 2018 and they were still inviting me to Christmas dinner on that same day.
I think got the sauce, yeah? You got that sauce, yeah?
On the same day. They don't care.
They don't care, bro. They don't care. That's just how it is, man. I don't know why. And then, you know what? I saw some people asking for the charity mind to like decouple with McLaren because McLaren does a lot of charity work via Lando Norris for the charity mind for mental health. And they're saying, "Oh, you didn't care about Daniel Ricciardo's mental health. Why are you working with McLaren for? Are you guys sick? Are you guys sick in the head?
Hey, let's speak on that. Let's speak on Joe, let's slightly pivot, yeah, as we recall those options. But let's speak on that on his fandom. Because he might have the worst fan base in F1. And I thought it might have been Shaw fans, but nah. Might be Ricardo fans though. Because some of the egregious things I've been seeing, yeah, that's just a small, minuscule thing where people saying, yo, man, you got to cut ties with McLaren.
Why are you bombarding with a charity on Twitter? Are you guys okay?
Bro.
Not to make fun of people with mental health issues or anything like that, but I do not believe that is normal behavior and it needs to be stopped.
So they want Mind to cut ties with McLaren.
That'll make it money for them.
Lose all of the possible dollars that they're getting from McLaren to do the charity work, and then cause Danny Rick is getting fired.
Exactly.
All for Danny Rick being fired. And I know what they'll say. I know what they'll say. They'll say, "Oh, but look at the way they did it. They let him put out a statement." This is a cutthroat business, man. I'm sorry. This is just how it goes. I'm sorry. Listen, if you underperform, this is Formula One. He's from the Red Bull Academy. You're going to get fired, bro. I don't know what you people think McLaren is. I think this papaya stuff got you twisted.
Yeah, the PR team got them thinking they need to go watch. They need to go watch what race was it with Alonso and Lewis. Was it what race was that again with Ron Dennis going mad in the pits?
Was it Spain? No.
Was it in 2007? No. That's the
and
one.
You know what?
The one that got them that made that decision to let Alonso go because he held Lewis up in the pit. Forgotten that race.
The guy, why are we having sympathy for a guy that's getting paid out 50 mil?
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's the case of why is it because Danny Rick likes to smile bare and show bare teeth that McLaren out of order. They don't think about his mental health. It's it's a good for business. This is F1. This is the pinnacle of motorsports. There's 20 seats.
Top 20 drivers in the world. Apparently,
every team wants to get to the top somehow, and they want the best lineup possible. Danny Rick has not been performed for 18 months. Kunle called it out after the third race. Sorry, the second race. Danny Rick ain't in
2021.
You call Kunle a madman. Now look. Now people say, "Oh, McLaren are going too far."
Kunle might be the first person in the world.
I said, I called it. Because man, them were saying, nah, it's too early. Give him till Singapore. Give it half season. Give him till the end of the season. Blah blah blah. That guy just didn't have that dog in him no more, bro. That dog left.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is?
It's got a kitten in there now, bro. It's mewing. It's not. Meow. You know, it's running from the grind. He ain't got it no more.
Sure.
It can see now. This is the thing, right? Danny Rick could go to a different team and absolutely ball out. I'm speaking put the teammate in the biggest black bag ever and throw that teammate in the River Thames. He could go do that. But he just couldn't do it in McLaren. And maybe it's just that Lando Norris is just way too good, or there's something going on with Danny Rick himself that it's not just clicked. But he shouldn't be driving that McLaren right now.
Jordan is as well, yeah. Jordan is. I hope whatever he goes to, I hope he fails. The reason why I say is because no. Big man thing. Nah, I hope he fails, yeah, for a number of reasons. Let me tell you why, innit, yeah. So, the reason why I want Danny Rick to fail is because, number one, I can't lie. Since he joined McLaren, yeah, I've not liked this. Ooh, I don't do the engineering shit. I'm just gonna smile through these losses. All this little pussy bullshit. It's a bit mad. I can't lie to you, innit? But Norris is driving a car where he said, I don't like this whip, but I'm gonna make the most out of it. Cool. So I hope he fails because if he goes to Alpine and succeeds, yeah, you know what the first thing people are gonna do, yeah? If he gets I don't know, a podium or something whatever, yeah. First thing people are gonna at McLaren and ask Zach Brown and say, yo, this is you man's fault why he fucked up. But they need to realize it's Danny Rick's fault why he failed the McLaren. It's not McLaren's fault. He built him a new chassis and all that shit, and he's still failing. The car's being built to your needs, and And the next man who's driving a whip, who doesn't even like driving a whip, is getting more outfit than you. That says a lot about you rather than McLaren. So that's one reason why I want to fail. Another reason why it's fair is because I want his fan base to shut the fuck up. Because all this fucking who's the one who turned up, who got the race win for McLaren? It wasn't Norris, it was Danny Rick. And it's like, okay, cool. If you look at it in context, yeah, Norris would have got back-to-back wins. If you look at it in context. Because he had more pace in Monza than Danny Rick. He just say, can I overtake, man? And McLaren say no. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, obviously, we know what happened to Russia, but cool. So, yeah, they're the main two reasons. And three, I just don't like man anymore. Yeah? I want him to fail. I want him to get run up the sport. Because
you just don't win, man.
I'm bored of that, the dandelion shit, because that's what it is. I'm bored of it. I'm bored of the James Corner shit. I'm bored of all this nicey. Bring back proper bastard drivers. Bring them back and give me that proper serious. See Norris, yeah. People start to see Norris that
Norris is a bastard.
He's a bit of a cunt in it, but I don't mind. Sometimes he says stuff it's a bit mad. But other times I'm like, you know what? I respect it still. Because obviously you know what Norris's fan base is. It's very, nicey, hug trees, smell dandelions.
Norris ain't like that. That was just so funny.
Norris ain't about that at all. Do you know what? If slap 10 years on him, and then they won't be doing this.
I've got a question.
I don't know, maybe Scal. But yeah, go on.
I've got a question. Danny Rick goes to Alpine, and Ocon beats him. What are we saying about Danny Rick then?
Washed.
He's lost it.
If Ocon
He's washed.
like we started with saying like maybe Ocon might be like the yardstick for mid and shouldn't be in F1, right? So if Ocon beats him convincingly, what's going on there?
NASCAR, innit?
Washed.
It's time to go.
Nah, it's Love Island, Australia.
Man said Love Island, Australia. Can we go for a chat? Can we go for a chat?
Go for a chat.
The honey badger is going for a chat.
The honey badger for a chat.
No, but it's a joke. No. Do you know what? Yeah, and do you know what's pissing me off as well? Yeah, we're gonna go on a rant today. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Are the neutrals that are on Danny Rick's side? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, so these are the people that are not really Danny Rick fans. So you're either you got a Norris agenda. So you want him to go to another. So you want to go. You want Norris. You want to have that illusion that Norris had the team built around him. Danny Rick never stood a chance. So I want Danny Rick to go to another team and pack him, which is not reality. That's genuinely not reality. He just got packed, and you just have to deal with that. And you don't. Some people don't want to deal with the reality that actually Norris is good at Formula One. He's a good Formula One driver. So you're in denial about that. So you've got those people that are not even Danny Rick fans that just want anything to look bad on Norris, which is proper weird behavior. Secondly, you got those people that don't actually watch Formula One. You just watch Drive to Survive. So you've been blissfully unaware that Daniel Ricciardo has been underperforming for 18 months. You've just been living in the fantasy world. But I saw this video on YouTube. He was all right. I saw him on DTS. You don't actually watch the races, so you don't know what's unfolding, and you see the mediocrity that he's putting on the table week in, week out. That I've had to like hold my tongue as a McLaren fan because I'm one of those people. Bro, Latifi could be in a McLaren. I'd have to support it for a bit to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So those people that are not actually watching the sport, commentating on the sport, you will see their tweets. They will never speak about actual racing. They'll speak about everything around racing, but they won't speak about racing itself. Yeah,
that's naughty.
And the third people are the people that don't understand that this is a cutthroat business. There's 20 seats. If you underperform, you're out of there. This is McLaren. McLaren are trying to go onwards and upwards from the mediocrity that we're at before because of the financial situation. We're growing financially, and now we need to have the driver lineup that reflects that. We went all in, and I think this is Zach Brown's fault for giving him such a long contract and such a hefty contract. But at the time, it seemed like a guaranteed because when he was at Renault, he was cooking. You know what I'm saying? And the other people, the fourth people, are the people that are blissfully unaware how much teams Daniel Ricciardo snaked. He snaked Red Bull. Let's not have any doubt about it. Red Bull gave him the money, more money. They gave him more money than he was getting before. He's getting more money than Max. They put a contract down. They matched what Renault gave him, yeah? And he was like, I'm out. And left them with no driver. So they had to do all this Gasly Albon shit. because they thought their driver lineup was patterned because they loved Ricciardo. Then you got what he did to Renault. Renault were in tears. Did you see Cyril? Cyril looked like he had a divorce. He couldn't believe that Daniel Ricciardo left. They gave him the bag. They gave him the car to get podiums. They patterned him. And the second that McLaren seat came available, man ducked out.
Cyril was pissed for a full year.
He left for less peace.
Cyril's still pissed off right now.
How do you go from Renault to go to McLaren for less peace?
He still got that tattoo as well.
So I'm not hearing it, from those individuals that were like, oh, he's been done dirty. The writing was on the wall. I was saying this brother's going to get fired in December last year. I said, this guy's getting fired. Because first of all, we're not in the business of paying people to underperform at the end of the day. You could talk about that race rig all you want. I don't care. I'm a McLaren fan. I swear to God, I don't care. I don't care about that race win in the context of everything. You could tell me it's the first race win since 2012. I'm interested in championship, bro. I'm not interested in a random win. You know what I'm saying? We're not AlphaTauri. I don't care about that at all. I'm interested in about building the platform to get back to where he was. Daniel Ricciardo was not allowing us to get to that position. Lando Norris is. If you're scoring a quarter of the points of your teammate, you are not helping the team. Everybody's saying, oh, he got us that race win at Monza. Yeah, we got a little bit of financial bonuses for that. Brother, you cost us third in constructors, bro. You cost us third in constructors to Ferrari. That's significant. So it's a deserved sacking. He deserved to be replaced. And I don't think there's any argument against that. And if you really hope, I hope Daniel Ricciardo the best, let him go to another team, whatever, and he's going to do what he's going to do. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt he's going to do anything because from what I've seen, it's just been horrible. If he gets into a position, clearly this is a knock on your driver. If somebody says, if these fans, like Richard was talking about, were saying, oh, look, they built the car around Norris or whatever, or he didn't get used to the car, it wasn't helping him out, the team, Isn't that a question about your driver's adaptability? Why can't he adapt? You don't hear Carlos Sainz moaning about that type of stuff. And I don't particularly rate Carlos Sainz like that, but Carlos Sainz just jumps in any car and deals with the situation. A lot of drivers just jump in the car and deal with the situation if it's hard to drive. Stop building up barriers of excuses to not criticize the person you support. You have to criticize them. If Norris was moving meaty, I'll say, you're moving meaty. I'm not going to try to hide the situation. So, yeah, you might be right. They might actually be the worst fan base in Formula 1 because they're not living in reality.
That's dead true. Do you know what as well, yeah? Someone put out a tweet, not too long ago and said, are you capable of being critical of a driver you like? And he got thousands of responses, obviously. And 90% said yeah, 10% said no. I'd just like to inform you that 89% of you are fucking liars and full of shit. Just clearly you can't. Because this is what you're getting. You're just getting Ricciardo fans saying, oh, I've been monitoring everything. You know me, I like to lurk in the background and just monitor shit. I've seen someone said, oh, Ricciardo should take his Monza trophies and medals from MTC, was it?
Do you know how much trophies we got in MTC? Yeah. I wouldn't even notice it's gone.
He said he should take that. He said,
no one noticed.
I like. He said, because obviously Zach Brown got the Monza tattoo, even if they sacked Ricciardo, Zach Brown is still Danny Rick's bitch and all shit like that. I'm just thinking, what? Bro, listen, I've seen a madness, and I'm saying, obviously with the mental health shit, I've been seeing a madness, honestly. That's why I said I hope he fails with his next move, no matter what. If it's Haas, was Alpine, listen, fucking Love Island Australia. I hope he gets voted out first in Love Island Australia. I'll personally vote him out first.
Celebrate Big Brother.
Yeah. Go Big Brother, fucking Too Hot to Handle, fam. Temptation Island, whatever.
Do you know what?
He's still gonna have an F1 seat.
I think the inability to you said it what Tomo said that tweet. I think the inability to remove personality from actual driver ability is hindering everybody from critical thought and being able to evaluate a situation correctly. Just because you like a bloke doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to criticize them for driving. That's their job. Their job is driving. If they're driving meaty, you need to say they're driving meaty. And you shouldn't have any complaints when the next person says they're driving meaty. If Norris just binned it out of nowhere, yeah, you won't hear me on this pod trying to defend him. I'm not Anik. I'm not like saying putting up excuses and stuff like that. I would say, yo, I would criticize him and say that's terrible driving. You shouldn't do that. But everybody's each to their own and everything like that. In terms of Ricciardo's option, he's gonna get paid. So Ricciardo, look at do you know the final point for Ricciardo fans and anybody that's trying to defend Ricciardo? Do you know how bad you have to be as a driver for a team as cheap as McLaren to pay you 50 million not to drive for them?
1-5.
Do you know how bad you have to be? Do you know how unsavable the situation is? For them, McLaren ain't rich like that. They're broke boys. Yeah? You got them man paying 15 million for you to go home. So regardless of the Monza wins or whatever you're trying to slander Norris or slander Zach Brown, your guy got paid to leave. That's how bad he was at driving. And that's the end of it.
That's the simple stuff. The McLaren moved pieces to get rid of Ricciardo. That's how bad the situation is. Yeah. Let's move on to the last bit, and because you slandered Ricciardo enough, so we needs to hold that. And
I don't think we've not slandered him enough, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, I know, but it's late now on this Sunday.
But we've got to move on.
Still.
It's gonna.
Hey, look, Ricciardo's a nice guy.
He's a sweet guy.
Obviously, I think it was never a good organizational fit. It didn't work, whatever. And I won't slander Ricciardo, like him personally or anything like that at all. It's not a personal thing, yeah. But what I will do is slander his fan base. They're an absolute joke.
I would slander Ricciardo's time at McLaren. Anything before that and after that, that's Ricciardo's business.
Calm. Okay, let's move to the last bit, and that is basically silly season. So, of course, if Ricciardo doesn't move to Alpine, and allegedly maybe Gasly moves there, because apparently Gasly has a exit clause in his contract which says any team higher than them in the constructors can basically move from. So, of course, Alpine are higher than AlphaTauri in the constructors as of now. Could it be the case of, I don't know, we might say Gasly at Alpine, maybe Mick might leave Haas, Danny Mick might go there, and then, I don't know, maybe Mick goes to Alpha or something.
Where's Mick going?
I don't know. This is all just little rumors that I've heard anyway. But is there any driver basically transfers that you think may happen that hasn't really happened, Joe?
I definitely think Mick Schumacher's going to lose his job and nobody knows about it.
Is he losing his job or is he leaving to a different team?
Where's his Aston Martin seat is gone. That Vettel lined up for him. Vettel even did up nepotism to try to line up for him, and he did.
Yeah, but then it still got Ferrari. Has it not got Ferrari back in?
Yeah, where's it?
It still does. A little bit.
Ferrari got equity across the grid, so they still got. But then Alfa Romeo, Bottas, and Zhou, they're confirmed for next season, no?
No, I think he's only on a 1-year deal. Guan Yu's only on a 1-year deal. So
Joe is on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, Bottas is on.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna let Joe go because he's not done badly.
I'm just gonna actually check. I'm just gonna check what seats are available for next year.
I mean, Guan Yu Zhou could go to. They could do a swap deal. So Guan Yu Zhou could go to Haas because obviously he paid for that Alpha seat like 30 mil, and Haas obviously some broke boys. We're to Chief Keef. There's some broke boys, and that could help them out. And then Mick could go to Alpha because him and Mick and Gunther don't get along. And then if he goes to Alpha, he can go as a Frederick Vasseur, whatever, go get nurtured by him. So that could happen.
So
the other Williams seat, I don't know if Logan Sargent is gonna get enough super license points to get that seat. I think he needs to get 5th in F2 this year. I don't know where he's in the standards now, to be honest with you, or if he's capable of getting there. Of course, there's Nick DeVries. Talk of him. I don't know.
I really don't care. I really don't care about that Williams because they're gonna finish second to the last anyways.
Yeah, true. Fuck them niggas anyway.
It's whatever. Yeah. Like Mats can hold that forever. I don't care.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh yeah, AlphaTauri. Do you think if
AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo?
You think maybe
I
one
don't know.
of the
Does Gasly want to go Alpine though?
if Gasly goes to Alpine, AlphaTauri, that seat is going to be filled by Red Bull Junior, 100%.
Definitely.
Like who though?
They're definitely bringing in someone from there. Like I don't think they're bringing in Danny Rick back.
Now, him going to AlphaTauri will be degraded. I can't lie.
Yeah,
But I love it though.
yeah, inject that still.
I love it though.
I can't believe I have agenda.
So obviously, Albon's confirmed for multiple years at Williams, which is deserved for him. He's done well this season. In that
shout out to him. He's done a
Latifi is all but gone. Because why would you not announce your second driver at that time when both your contracts are running out at the same time?
True.
So we've got one seat at Williams.
I think that's going to be filled. That's going to be filled by
Aston Martin tied up.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got the map right now. Yeah. So we've got a seat at Alpine, obviously.
Let's start from the top.
So we've got a seat at Alpine. We've got a seat at Alfa Romeo. We've got a seat at AlphaTauri because they haven't confirmed Juki yet. We've got a seat at Haas because Mick has not been confirmed yet, and we've got a seat at Williams. So
Red
5
Bull
seats.
It's Red Bull patterned. Max and Sergio patterned already.
Yeah, that's patterned already.
Yeah, the top teams are patterned, so there's nothing about that. So so McLaren was what? Oscar and Norris. Cool. Alpine will be Ocon and
somebody.
Ocon and somebody.
I think it's Danny Rick, to be fair.
You think it's Danny Rick?
Let's say Danny Rick then. Okay.
I don't see that many options. I don't think they'll go after Gasly per se. Unless it's financial. Unless they're looking at saving money, because they'll probably pay Gasly.
That team will be a disaster, you know. If it's Gasly Ocon, these men are going to be trying to rip each other's head off. They don't like each other. It's known since childhood.
Ocon don't like anybody though.
I think Ocon makes a stroll. I think he's makes a stroll. I think it's quite close.
Okay. They're saying F2 yet? Whether they say F2 yet or
Mick ain't here. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying Mick is gone.
There's too much beef going on between Mick and Gunter. I don't think it's going to carry on. So you could be right about a swap between Joe and Mick.
It would make sense. I can't lie to you. It would make sense. So they let's say they swap. AlphaTauri, let's say Gasly's forced to stay another year because no one's still.
I think Yuki's still there.
You think so?
Yeah, man.
I think they renew Yuki.
I think they've already just announced that new Honda thing. I think AlphaTauri. Do you know what's going to happen? This is Mahad exclusive corner.
No.
I think when Red Bull announced the Porsche deal, that they're going to have basically Porsche and Red Bull are going to be moving forward from like 2026, and it's going to be 50% ownage of Porsche. Going to own 50% of Red Bull Racing. I think from that point, Red Bull Racing are going to sell AlphaTauri to Honda, and it's going to become a works team. Honda works team.
If they come back.
Okay.
They will come back. They will come back.
You know what Honda's on though. You know what Honda's on.
But Honda said they were leaving.
Yeah, but Honda's done work teams bare times. It's not like they haven't.
Yeah, I know. But if they want to commit to that again, that's the thing. Because the little back down thing.
If that's the case, they'll put Yuki in the seat.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a driver.
Yeah, it would make sense. Yeah.
So what AlphaTauri is going to do is going to keep Yuki sweet the whole time. Because he'll be part of the deal when you're selling the team.
Yeah, that will make sense. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And Williams, I have no idea who they're going to do. I would personally put Logan Sargent in because literally he's the only one that's actually him and Awasa are the only guys in F2 that are actually decent. I don't know the rest of these men. Are.
I don't trust Drogovic. I don't trust that.
Drogovic is the reserve driver for Aston Martin. Do you know how Aston Martin was basically saying they saw Drogovic as their reserve driver? A seat opened up and they were like, nah. It's put Alonso in the seat. That's how bad F2 is. They went, nah.
Stick it up.
I'm putting a 45-year-old Alonso, 49-year-old Alonso in the seat rather than a possible F2 champion.
Hey, you know how sticky it gets.
I said it numerous times. Those F2 dons, they're not it for me, man. Every time I tune into an F2 race, it looks chaotic. I mean, F2 is always
guys that are
chaotic.
gonna make it. Yeah. The only two
it's
guys
a
that
bit
are going to
nuts,
make it is Logan Sargent and Awasa. That's the only two guys that are going to make it. The rest
if
of
they
them.
make it.
Tio
Yeah.
even Porsche is looking a bit smelly.
Mm,
That could be a possible
yeah.
guy for Alfa Romeo as well.
Yeah, true. I forgot about that. It's the second season.
If he wins the championship.
True.
But
Yeah.
we're not gonna know. I think we'll probably get more information towards Spa.
Before the end of summer break.
So they're gonna announce. They usually announce it around Spa, Zandvoort driver.
F1 needs a thing, man. We
Jesus
need Fabrice
Fabrizio.
We need that.
Here we
man.
go.
Here we go.
Oh, we need a Woj like Shams.
Shams Woj, yeah. Adam Schefter. We need Adam
Yeah,
Schefter.
like I've all four of them reporting news. We're gonna
Yeah,
eat
soon
me.
come it'll be you, Kunle, man. You need to make them F1 links.
Nah, bro. I don't think any team would like me. I'll slander everybody, bro.
I think we know why.
Oh God.
I think we know why.
Yeah,
Me,
yeah.
Cool.
I
Now go on.
no, because me, bro. I like you. I don't like you. You're gonna catch it if you're doing stupid things. Like
Stupidness.
You used to be a big Danny Rick defender, and you just cooked him today.
I used to defend Danny Rick. Like I was for Danny Rick for a very long time, and then the man was doing a madness. I was like, you know what? If you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, peace out.
I will say this on wax right now: when Lewis Hamilton retires, McLaren has the best driver lineup.
When
Damn. Alright, yeah.
so you're picking Lando and Oscar over whoever they pair up George Russell with.
Yeah.
Okay. What if it's Max?
Max at Mercedes. God damn.
Yeah,
Hey, that's Total's wet dream. That's Total's wet dream, though.
Total twice for Max though.
He does, but that's a crazy team. Oh my lord. No one's eating in F1 if that's the case.
Yeah, boy. Stick out the joints, you know? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's wrap up.
That lineup's strong. That lineup's crazy. Oscar Piastri, Norris. This is the future, man. Zach Brown's got a plan for me, baby.
Nah, man, you believe
McLaren fan TV. You better sign up for next year.
You believe in Zach Brown way too much, brother. I don't see it, man.
We were in the mud. Do you not understand?
We
were handed out Fredos as Christmas bonus to the staff. We were finished.
It's giving, man. It's giving trauma bonding, bro. No, I'm not buying it yet.
Zach Brown's that guy, man.
Bring me a championship and I'll believe it. Or
bring
me a new engine supplier that's not Mercedes and I'll believe in you.
He brought us Google Chrome on our wheels.
That's crazy.
I swear it was meant to bring in Porsche.
I like that.
Audi.
Porsche was supposed to bring an Audi when he rejected it.
Because it's soft.
Yeah, but when we hear that McLaren BMW team convoy, he's lining up something crazy. Watch. We're gonna be a works team real soon.
I'll believe it when I say it.
Sure, yeah. Zach Brown's giving something else, but I'm not allowed to say in it. But I'll let you lost imagination one wild, you know.
Oh,
but let's wrap up because it's getting a bit late.
Yeah.
So please remember to of course follow the socials on the Pitstop Fracas, Twitter and Instagram. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure to follow us and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, please. And also make sure to click on the Fanatics link if you want any F1 merch. Current code is F125 if that's selective. I don't know if it is. My bad if it's not. But please remember to use that code if you want any F1 merch. And thanks for tuning in if you got this far. And we'll be back when we'll be back because I don't know what the scheduling is. So all we're going to say is have a good week and peace.
All right.